welcome back. We're back in actions. The Lightning's gone, so All Stars versus Sin. They will be breaking in opposite ends of each other as it is the third round. I guess they always do. So All Stars coming in on the traditional side against Sin. Sin needs a point here though. It's 2-0 down. Just over 4 minutes left to play. They need to try to figure out a way to get on this board. Sin loses a player. They Dorito one player. I believe the All-Star player, Greiling, is back in that Snake 50. Clearly a position of his. We'll be seeing a lot of him there. If we were on the Dorito side, I'd be talking about different players. But it comes down to what a man can and can't see. That three-quarter brick bunker being used now as well on the Sin side, on the Snake side. Need to try and figure out a way here. Greiling backing up out of that bunker. He's away from the Snake 50. Let's see how this plays out. I've seen a few bodies drop. I haven't seen All-Star lose a body just yet. The rain has come and gone, which has wet the field. It also means the paint's probably quite soft. It's not going to bounce, quite hard, sorry. It's going to come, it's going to break clean. Sin play doing well in that three-quarter bunker.
Towel.
Sin dropping too many bodies. They want to save the time as much as they can. Throwing the towel into All-Stars. See if they can pull one next and regroup. So All-Stars takes 3-0 lead against Sin. Next, Brutal 2 versus Double Tap as well. The same scoreline. Will it come with the same result though?
30 seconds. Twenty seconds.
Brutal will be in there. Purple. I keep wanting to say
10
orange.
seconds.
I'm not even sure why. They'll be breaking a left from right. Double Tap as well will be wanting to get on the board here.
Game on.
Player called on the break from Double Tap. Picked up on sliding into that three-quarter bunker. I think a lot of players are going to be more than happy to try slide around as much as they can. The field will be wet, so they can probably cover a hell of a lot of ground if they go to ground. Brutal losing one, losing two. They've been picked out of their bunkers. One wearing it in the face, actually. Hey, nah. Snake seeing a lot of action. Double Tap throws a player on that brick 50 on the Dorito side. Brutal immediately responding with a Dorito 4, and he's coming around to bunker. Does exactly that. Picks him up at that brick 50. Then another on himself. Is he still in? Oh, the Snake 50, literally, they're on the other side of the bunker. Literally, the Snake 50 has two players on it. Now they know he's there. The other one doesn't. Bang, bang, wear it. That's what happens when there's no communication. Double Tap losing a play on the Snake 50. Who was this Brutal player doing it? Because he didn't know he was there. So the Double Tap player was focused all the way down and strolled past the Brutal Affliction player. I believe, was that Roundtree for Double Tap? Roundtree. The player unlucky there, not actually knowing the Brutal Affliction player was just on the other side of the bunker and wearing one or two. There's a Dorito player busy throwing some paint towards me. I'm going to have some words about him. This is van de Kracht for Brutal Affliction over here, I believe. Busy throwing some paint into that Dorito 4 bunker, Dorito 3. So it seems like a bit of a one-on-one between the two players at the moment. Isn't really going to be a rush. Yeah, it's that Dorito 3. Whoever can pick the other up. Good shooting. Because he's picked up that Double Tap player from the Kracht. He's going to run up and make it 3-0. It was quite a long, sustained duke-off between the two players there. Not sure who the Double Tap player was infield. But Brutal Affliction 2 going to take their time, waste some time to try and turn it into a 3-0 victory.
Towel.
We just waited.
Towel.
Towel thrown
Towel.
in, not letting any time
Point
get
approved.
wasted. Point approved. 3-0 Brutal Friction against Double Tap. Now All Stars versus Sin. We're going to wait. All Stars are going to want to whitewash. Sin need to get on the ball.
Thirty seconds.
There's your 30-second counter. Is this going to be a whitewash or not? I don't know, but it's getting very, very
20
contentious out on
seconds.
the field.
Ten seconds.
All these players are going to be very much wanting to whitewash them, especially All-Star. Sin's not going to let them though. Sin's going to be breaking left from right.
Game on.
Telltale pink, blue, and black. I do see that All Stars has sat further back. They're in no rush whatsoever. Sitting on that 3/4 brick bunker. Good communication coming out from Sin. You can hear them talking as much as they can. Trying to place the All-Star players. Player cleared on Sin's side in that back center bunker. Haven't seen any All-Star players getting dropped either though. As I mentioned, that Kralin comes in front of me. He's out of there, unfortunately, for All Stars. He wasn't even in the snake this time, interesting enough. And as I mentioned, that Sin move a player straight into the snake 50, but outside the cluster, on the furthest outside of the field. Also, I see All Star have lost Francisco. So that's 2 down. This looks like it could be Sin's point with a bit of focus. Definitely Sin's point with a bit of focus. They're moving up. They've taken out that Dorito 1 player as well. Moving one into that snake 50, now another into the snake wing. Dorito 4 as well. The Dorito 4 is getting a lot of attention on that far corner though. See the All Stars losing a third, only 2 left. So they're just going to eat the time. There's no point in throwing in the towel. They've got a 3-0 lead. They really just need to try waste as much time as possible to ensure the win. Sin realizing this, sacrificing a body for the bunkerage. Getting one there, then they take out the Dorito 1, and I do believe that should be All Stars done, so Sin allowed to run all the way up, and that will be their first point on the board. Well done, Sin.
Base.
Played much, much better there, Sin. It was very well done. They deserved that point. Let's wait for that confirmation.
Point approved.
There you have it, meaning All Stars and Sin 3-1, just over a minute 20 left to play there. It was good to see Sin get on the board. When they play like that, they look like a very positive team. We don't want whitewashers. The teams don't deserve it. If they do, I would say so.
30 seconds. Twenty seconds.
Brutal Affliction 2 versus Double Tap. Brutal leading 3-0. The computer doesn't lie. This is tough. Sin just came back from the previous one.
10
now
seconds.
Is Double Tap going to be able to is the question.
Game on.
Double Tap breaking left from right. Brutal right to left. Player asking for a check on that 3/4 Bronco. Snake side on Brutal side. Double Tap lose the mirror player on their side. So I've seen one Double Tap player down. No Brutal players down just as yet. Brutal talking a lot. I see Double Taps drop too. If this Brutal player pokes his head up, he's gonna cut open that. He's gonna cut open that Dorito 4. This 50. Oi. He's shut himself down with a center bunker. If he can lean just a little bit right, he's going to cut open that whole Dorito 4. There's a lane here. that exists, but I don't think the players know know that it does, because they want to get into the safety of their bunker first before they look across the field. But what it does then is it closes it off. So even though there is the snake player now for Brutal Affliction here, past the snake 50, he's not actually cutting open the field onto the Dorito 4. He's cutting Dorito 1 and Dorito corner bunker. Brutal loses their 3/4 bunker. The snake 50 here busy getting duked by that Dorito 4 I was just talking about, and he's been taken out for it. Ooh, Brutal Affliction losing opportunities. Dorito 4 is taken out eventually, finally down the line, and they lose their Dorito 1 player. So Brutal Affliction should take this in a whitewash of 4-1. Double Tap really struggling to find their feet this morning. First whitewash of the day, I believe, when it comes to challenges. Yes. Well, it's the first set, actually.
Base.
There you have it. Let's wait for that point confirmation, and that should be our first challenges victory. Brutal Affliction 2, first double tap.
Point approved. Game finished.
There you hear it. You can hear the crowd in the background. Brutal Affliction over the moon with their performance there. Solid victory of 4-0 against Double Tap.
$30 seconds.
30 seconds on the clock. What's going to happen here? Remember, it's winning by 4,
20 seconds.
not race 2-4. But time's the factor here for Sin. All-Stars going to be happy to sit back. What's the rush? I feel that will be the tactics. There's a minute 23 left.
10 seconds.
What's the plan? I feel they're going to hang back, chill, not move up. There's no need for them to 3-0. Even if they win, it's a 4-1. They need 2 points to win by points.
Game on.
Not 1, though. So this is a big deal. There's no need for them just to get excited too much. But almost contrary to what I'm saying, they throw a runner straight into Snake 1 outside the cluster and a Dorito 4 player. So I don't know if that's just field domination or them trying to show aggression. That outside cluster player moves up to inside the cluster and then into the Snake 50.
60 seconds.
Out the Snake 50. He cuts open that 3/4 brick on the far side. Now they're focusing on their snakes. It's still quite a bit of aggression coming out here by All-Stars. Is it dominance aggression, or is it them feeling that this is the best way of actually controlling the field how they want it done?
Towel. Towel.
Towel thrown in by Sin and giving All-Star the 4-1 lead with just shy of 40 seconds left to play.
Point approved.
So the point is approved. There's going to be a 2-minute breather whilst the teams go get some paint and breathe. My name is Adam Zawada, coming at you live from Super Cup. Don't go anywhere. back, ladies and gentlemen. All Stars versus Sin. Your 10-second counters
10
about to
seconds.
kick off. And we're looking at 39 seconds on the clock. All Star have to sit back for their first win. What's the rush? Sin, I feel, is going to be wearing a bit of paint very, very
Game
soon.
on.
Because they're going to have to come out aggressively. But again, All Stars, contrary to belief, are coming out hot, throwing a snake 50. I tend to believe that this is just the approach they're running at the moment. Sin losing a player up their back center bunker. I feel this is All Stars' way of saying, no, this is how we dominate the field. And, you know, fair enough if that's how you feel it. Oh, we can have a nice little show off. There's two players all right on that 50 bunker again. They're literally the other side of each other. If they can little pop shotty, they can make something happen. It's Krailing here for All Star. He doesn't know he's there. I believe that's Ace for Sin. Bang, bang. There's that player.
Game time finish.
Game time
finished.
finish. All Stars win 4-1. Your sets are your first set of challengers, sorry, is done. Wow, and it's been exciting stuff. Even though we stopped for rain, we had our first whitewash win. Brutal Affliction won 4-0, and All Stars winning now 4-1 against Sin. What this means now is your next set of teams, Legacy. Now, if I am correct, Legacy used to be the old Reaper kids, going out on their own with a bit of independence there. Let's see how they do out there. Mentors, so to speak. Then they are up against underdogs, and then Team Fury versus Kamikaze. Snake 50, they know he's there though. They counter again with another player themselves in Snake. They're both within the cluster itself. Underdogs getting picked off out of that Snake cluster. Interesting enough, Legacy using the center bunker. They've thrown our whole player past the 50 wall. He's been sneaking. He snuck in so well, I didn't even see him. And it's right in front of us. It's good to see, though, a lot of these players still playing under Gauteng under 19s as well. They're good, strong players and the future of paintball. So it's very nice to see a player cleared at the Snake 50 wall. Underdogs do have that back corner Dorito on the Dorito corner bunker. And then the Dorito 3 just got picked up. Legacy showing strength just like they did when they were Reaper kids, but they're on their own now. They're doing well so far. How they're going to push it? The Snake player jumps out of the cluster, so he's on the furthest outside line. Play at the 3/4 brick getting checked. I think Underdogs are done, or there's only one left. Legacy really moving up now. They've got 3 over. There's 2 players left. Sorry, 1. Make that 1 for Underdogs. The Legacy really wanting to push up. They're going to bunker him and probably take the point. That's exactly what they do. Take the player out. They're ready to move on up. They're going to take the first point against Underdogs. Strong showing here by Legacy. I must admit I enjoy their jerseys. Black and purplish pink. But it looks good. Nice and different as well. Still waiting for that point confirmation though. Base is hit. Your next set as well will be Fury and Kamikaze when this gets approved.
Point approved.
There's your point approval. Legacy going 1-0 up against the Underdogs. Now it is a Fury versus Kamikaze. 40-second break there. Legacy, it's a strong start by them.
"30 seconds.
It's good to see some of these challenges again. It's been a while, I must admit.
"10 seconds.
There's your counter. Remember, Fury will be breaking a left to right in green and black jerseys. Kamikaze will be breaking in their telltale grey, black and red. Haven't seen anyone dropped off the break just yet. Kamikaze on that 3/4 bunker, as is Fury. They've mirrored each other on the Snake side bunker. That 3/4 bunker player sliding into Snake 50. There's a Snake outside the cluster for Fury. This is going to be close. He's going to try pick him up. Picks it on the back of the pod. He is out. There is that 3/4 bunker now. He's been replaced immediately on Kamikaze's side. He then picks up that outside Snake player. So that's good. Communication needs to be lacking, but it was good shooting to stay alive as well. Kamikaze also running that Dorito 1 on the far side. Now there's a Snake player again for Fury. They're throwing him in the middle of the cluster. After that original confusion and absolute chaos of the break. It's calmed down a little bit. Both teams dropping a couple though. Kamikaze players are asking for confirmation on positioning of the opponents, but not quite sure where they are. Fury moves a player out of the cluster, but he doesn't know whether he's moved. He doesn't know that he's moved. Here comes the exchange. There's going to be a big exchange. They're seconds from each other. They're on the wrong side of the bunker. Paint coming into studio. There's Fury. Oh, Fury takes down 2. Kamikaze wears it, but he managed to take 2 with him. So all in all, that's 3 for that Kamikaze player. Well done. I'm not sure if it was Birch. I think I misheard the nickname Birch. I'm not sure if that's the truth there then. But it doesn't look like there's anyone left for Kamikaze. So it looks like Fury could stroll up and take the first point. The Snake chaos was ridiculous. Yeah, it does look like it's going to be Fury's point first.
Base.
Base hit. Let's wait for that confirmation.
Point approved.
Here we go. Fury takes the first point against Team Kamikaze. Both teams played very well. I mean, it wasn't like a 4-against-1 whitewash there whatsoever. There was only 2 players alive for Fury, and it was very, very close. Kamikaze could have swayed that either way, but it means that Legacy and Underdogs are duking it off again. Legacy will be breaking in their Telltale Punk jerseys from right to left.
20 seconds.
Underdogs will be wanting to show
10 seconds.
some power here, get on the board themselves.
Game on.
Definitely some support for Legacy as well. You can see in the crowd quite a few jerseys that have been picked up now as well. Underdog Snake player wears it on the hand, and now that's never easy. There's a yellow flag on Legacy though. This isn't good. They move a play up into the Snake 50. Underdog loses a Dorito 1 play on the far side. Legacy immediately back up and then toss them into that Dorito corner bunker. Remember, when Legacy operated under a different name, discipline used to be quite a problem for them. They used to pick up a lot of flags. Have they matured beyond the flags? It's been quiet so far with flags this Super Cup, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, we haven't had the big first few sets of challenges, and we haven't had the big champions where things get a little heated, so to speak. Player called out on Underdogs in that back center bunker. Good shooting from the Snake cluster positioning. I believe it's the 2 brothers left for Legacy. Player moves completely back past his own land, but then on the far side he goes in bunkers or Dorito player. Legacy player is out as well though. Don't actually see the Underdog player out, so it might not have been a successful bunkering. There is a Legacy player in that Dorito corner. Underdogs trying to communicate as well as they can. Legacy moving up to that brick 50 on the Dorito side. Snake player is now outside the cluster in the beginning of the cluster. Underdogs lost one of their back Dorito 1 bunkers, it seems. I think there's only 1 Underdog player left and 2 Legacies. The 1 player completely wrapping around to Dorito 4. Shifting up, he's trying to square up the field. He's now on Dorito 2. But on the Underdog side of the field, Legacy still the Snake side, and he's picked him up out that bunker. Good shooting, Legacy. Wasn't sure if it was the Snake position or that cross field. Foul thrown in by Underdogs. Legacy go 2-0 up. Really, really good play there, keeping their heads.
Thirty seconds. 20 seconds.
Kamikaze versus Fury. Fury and Kamikaze will be swapping sides now, so Fury will be right to left in their green, Kamikaze in that red, white and black. But how's this going to play out though? They need to make a plan here. On your screen is Kamikaze.
Game on.
They're busy breaking out. Big runner into the Snake or into that brick position. Mirrored on the Fury side. I believe that's Smith on the 3/4 bunker for Fury. Wearing the number 58 there in that 3/4 bunker. A lot of paint being thrown down. Both these teams seem to have similar tactics from what I can tell at the moment. Fury moving Dorito 1 now, and they've got that Dorito corner bunker. Kamikaze's lost a player now. You can hear in the background a lot of paint being tossed about. Not hearing the largest amount of communication from both teams, but I am a bit removed from the field, so they might be doing it very well. Kamikaze also has that 3/4 snakeside bunker in play, brick bunker in play. Then also Dorito 4. Fury with a snake corner, that 3/4 brick, and a Dorito 1. I think they might have a Dorito 2, but I'm not sure. 3/4 brick moves up into Snake 50, trying to open up that Dorito. Kamikaze loses a Dorito 1 player. Now they also slide another player into Snake. It's Shaw in number 10 here on the outside of the cluster for Team Fury. Moving up, they've lost their brick player. Big bunkering's there. Took him with him, so they made sure. Player called on that snake side corner bunker as well. I do believe that's the rest of Kamikaze, so Fury can move up.
Towel.
There you have it, the towel thrown in. Team Fury playing very, very pretty paintball and looking good at doing it. No, good on Team Fury. They really are. They started communicating really well towards the end there. It's good to see them playing so well. Kamikaze will be a little bit annoyed at themselves for not getting points on the board. They'll feel they're better than this, and I feel they are as well, and that they can pull this off. They can pull it back.
"20 seconds.
Legacy and Underdog. Legacy will be breaking from their original start point, which is left to right. Underdog right to left. Let's try to get a better view here.
Game on.
Underdog, big break. They've got that snake side corner bunker, that 3/4 brick. Legacy also with that snake side bunk on the opposite end of the field, and that center back bunker. Legacy has lost a player on the far Dorito side. They're running a center player and a Dorito 4. Underdogs themselves also with a back center temple bunker. Snake corner's been picked off on Underdog side, and they've lost a Dorito player. That's 2 down to 1 Legacy down. So Legacy with a bit of advantage here. Underdog moves a player into that Snake 50. Legacy lose their central player. They lose that Snake 50 as well. Now they're moving a Legacy player past outside the cluster. He's sitting outside the cluster. Legacy's lost their Dorito 4 player. No eyes on the Underdog players. That's the problem here. That's what he feels. Is there anyone even left? Not sure where that Underdog player is, or even if there is an Underdog player. I see Legacy's not crawling quite just yet. He's going to take it and go for the point. Looks like Legacy will take that. Only the one. Towel thrown in by Underdog. I think they realized they were maybe hoping there was no point there and waited. But no. Legacy going 3-0 up, looking strong, positive. It's good to see them back in action. Fury and Kamikaze, how are we going to do this, ladies and gentlemen?
30 seconds. "20 seconds. "10 seconds.
Fury in their green, breaking left from right. They're looking strong. I'm not going to lie to you. Fury looking good. Oh, losing a play off the break into that 3/4 brick. Kamikaze immediately slide one in, mirroring it, but he made it safe whilst the Fury player didn't. I must admit, though, if I remember right from previous competitions, and I stand to be corrected, watching Fury, they've been very positive before and then sometimes thrown it away at clutch times. But let's see if they can go the way today. Kamikaze trying to come back with a bit of power. They're busy now with a snake 50 and inside the cluster, and then a snake outside the cluster. Not quite on the 50. Dorito 4 is aware that he's there, so they're going to try pick him up. They do know he's there. They're going to try eat him. There's a center bunker in the way. They're trying to pull one round, but they just can't get it. The Kamikaze player doesn't know about that Dorito 4. That's that blind lane we've mentioned again. It's there, but I don't think players are aware of it. Or they just don't risk it. There's a big seal here by the Fury player picking up the Snake player. A check on that past Snake 50, but there's the outside cluster player as well, cruising up slowly. There is that Dorito 4 player. The other player is out. They're not aware of one another. Kamikaze is going to get the drop on Fury. And there it is. He wears it to the side of the mask. A good shooting by Kamikaze, finishing that off very, very well. This is a bit more better from Kamikaze, what we've seen in the past.
Base.
This is better what we've seen from Kamikaze when they playing well and they coming on top. Base has been hit,
Approved.
and there's your point approval. Now, though, Legacy have an opportunity to perform a whitewash here against Underdogs. Are they going to take it, or are Underdogs going to step up, pick up their game,
30 seconds.
and come back for a point? There's over 4 minutes left to be played, so it's not done yet.
$20 seconds.
The 20-second counter, Underdogs will be wanting points. It's good to see Legacy back.
10 seconds.
Legacy breaking right to left on your screen is the Underdogs at the moment. Legacy lost one off the break. One of the brothers, the other brothers, quick between those bunkers. My heaven, tosses it straight into the Snake 50. Underdogs lost 1-2, I believe. These lighties are fast, ladies and gentlemen. A Legacy player past the Snake 50. Hasn't let anyone know he's there. He's playing the sneak role. These bright red caps against the pink do need to change, though. It really is not a good color coding system. Legacy throws a player on Dorito 1. Underdogs definitely have that snake corner bunker. Or did. Underdogs trying to flatten out a bit, try and cover their different lanes. It's too many, though. A lot of paint being thrown down. Legacy not moving up too much. Remember, if Legacy take this point, they win 4-0. It is Mercy 4. Player called out on the Underdog side. No, yes, bunkered out there. So, Underdog have enough alive. That is the rest of Underdogs out. So it looks like it's going to be a 4-0, beating a whitewash of Legacy against Underdogs. Unlucky. Underdogs seem to do well. There were moments of brilliance, but unfortunately none of it on the scoreboard. That must be tough. It is the early morning, but Underdogs will be back, and I'm sure they're going to go right back to the drawing board, figure out what they did wrong, and come back with a passion of vengeance to take some blood. Congratulations to Legacy for winning that so convincingly, 4-0. As mentioned before, they're back and they mean business with or without their mentees.
Okay, cool. That's why I'm just checking.
Fury and Kamikaze now 2-1. Oh, just
10
shy of
seconds.
4 minutes to play though. Kamikaze breaking left to right. Fury in that green of theirs.
Game on.
The Durban team that is Fury. It's good to see some Eastern teams in there. Western, sorry, because that's our West Coast. That wasn't very smooth. Oh, wait, I've completely geographically confused myself here. What have I done? Fury moving up into that three-quarter brick. Adam, stop worrying about the world and just focus on the paintball. There's a snake player now for Kamikaze outside the cluster in that first leg. Fury moving up into the cluster itself. Not quite at the 50 though. They know they're there. This Kamikaze player is pinned down. Lots of action there. Kamikaze player does lose a play on the far side. Fury player called out here. He's been taken out of the snake cluster. Kamikaze lose a back bunker player and then a Dorito 3 player as well. This is Fury moving up on the far side of the field. The snake player is being wrapped up a little bit. Can he get picked off? Don't think he's going to though. Called out on the head. He did get clipped on the side. It completely opened up. Fury wrapping it up well. Kamikaze looked like they had some benefits there, and then unfortunately 1-2 dropped in quick succession, giving Team Fury the point. They're going to take their time though.
Towel.
Kamikaze too smart
Point
for it,
approved.
not to waste any time. Team Fury 3-1. There's a 2-minute break now as we wait for paint and give the players a breather. Oh, more like I need the breather more than them. Team Fury all the way from Durban playing very well there.
One minute. Thirty seconds.
There's your 30-second counter. Fury and Kamikaze back in action. They need to close up their set.
20 seconds.
Kamikaze brought back a point there. They've had
Timeout.
some moments of brilliance. A timeout has been taken by Kamikaze. They want to make sure of their plans going into this. They can't go down another point, and I think they know that.
One minute.
Okay, so timeout has been taken by Kamikaze. They want to make sure they don't want to be rushed.
30 seconds.
Team Fury is going to want to lock this down. The Durban team, let's bring some poison.
20 seconds.
I hope you saw what I did there.
Ten seconds.
The time has been stopped. The speaker has gone down. We're just waiting for that speaker to come in. Give us 1 second. The speaker decided to be a little difficult. We're going to redo the 10-second counter between Team Fury and Kamikaze. So, give us 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, whilst we sort out the gremlins of... This is what happens when it rains, frankly. Rain and electronics are always a bit of a problem. Try and figure out so we're going to go into a bit of silence. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming at you live from Super Cup whilst we sort out the gremlins.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
little gremlins have been fixed. We know that electricity and water are never the best thing in the world. But let's figure this out. Fury versus Kamikaze. There is a 3-1 scoreline. Both teams are going to be ready. You're going to hear your 10-second counter coming soon. Fury and green, left to right. The German.
10 seconds.
Ooh, that's some bass in that speaker right there. See, we don't just fix problems, we make them better out here at Emerald Resort and Casino.
Game on.
Kamikaze breaking right to left. Haven't seen anyone drop off the break though. Fury dropping in that nice little three-quarter snake, three-quarter brick bunker. Good communication coming out from Kamikaze. Big field positioning though. So Kamikaze does have that 50 brick on the Dorito side. Good communication going out from Kamikaze, but again, like I mentioned, not much happening in the way of field positioning. I did see a Fury player field, he's been picked off. And that three-quarter brick Dorito side being utilized now by Fury. He's backed up a little bit, doesn't want to be caught out in the open if there's a square up. Square you up. Kamikaze, three-quarter brick, snake side, trying to open up the field. Fury responding with a snake runner. There's going to be a big juke off here. One player down. It's the Fury player, not the Kamikaze player. He managed to get out of it without being hit. Kamikaze moving up. They're going to, there's 3-4 guns live for them. It looks like they're going to pick off the last Fury player and run up and snatch a point here. But time is going down. They're going to try save as much time as possible. Off they go. They're rushing it.
Base.
This is a hell of a performance coming in here from Kamikaze. They went down 2-0, then 3-1, and now they're coming at 3-2. They're making the comeback here. Fury needs to turn on. Fury, what are we doing? What are we doing? Let's turn on, lads. What are they doing? That's such a great start. They need to clutch this point out. They were looking so smooth, so professional.
Point approved.
There's a 2-minute breather now whilst we let the players breathe. I breathe, and whilst we get some more paint and so on. So don't go anywhere. Super Cup 2018. Some bunkers are getting checked as well. It's getting a little warmer, so the paint's going to get a little softer, as is the shells. So the bunkers are getting released a little bit to prevent bouncing and make sure that the balls break as often as possible.
One minute.
I'm loving this speaker. This thing is a monstrosity now. Your 30-second counter, Fury and green will be right to left. Is Kamikaze going to pull a pullback here? There's just over 10 seconds of a minute to play. Oy, this is going to be a very, very close game. Kamikaze better hurry, though. Their 10-second counter is coming. They better get into position.
10 seconds. Game on.
Big break by both sides. I'm holding a bit of an interesting line there. Kamikaze loses one off the break. Fury with an immediate gun advantage. There's your 60-second counter. This is how close this is. Fury loses their Dorito 1 player. Kamikaze, they changing this. That one hell of an interesting run through Snake. He did get picked up, the Kamikaze player. He went through the cluster and then through 2 separate bunkers. Now Kamikaze throwing in another. Fury's dropped another player as well. They're rushing here, Kamikaze. They want to tie this up, force the overtime. Fury loses another player out on the Dorito side. So this is close, but there's about 30 seconds left. Here's your face for Fury running up. He's picked up Kamikaze. They're facing it off. Fury players stayed alive. He's now been picked off. They're going to make it. They're going to do it within 20 seconds. Base has been hit. Kamikaze have done it. Let's see what happens here now, because it's Kamikaze. They're going to tie this up. 18 seconds left. Means they are going to play that 18 seconds before the overtime. Oh yeah, this is going to be interesting. We need that approval though.
Point approved.
Approved. 18 seconds on the clock, tied up. I don't believe Kamikaze have done it. Fury is going to be kicking themselves. Again, they need more gas, more air, more all of it, more pain, more breathing time. Because now it's a 2-minute breather, and it's going to be quite interesting actually, because they're going to play the 18 seconds, and then it's going to be hot 18 seconds. Then there's going to be another 2-minute breather, because I'm pretty sure it's going to go to overtime. Our first challenger's overtime is on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. A minute left before we figure out if we have over a minute. I lie.
It was a bit loose on the cable side if you tightened, so I'll check the next point on the line up. It was working earlier. How many refs on the field, Byron? How many refs on the field, Byron?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. How are we going to do this? 18 seconds left on the map. I think it's going to be too tight to call.
20 seconds.
Are both teams going to defend? I think they're going to be happy with the overtime, to be honest. Kamikaze coming here. This is a 6-point thriller. Big point game here. Let's see how this goes. Fury breaking left to right. Are they going to push hard, or is everyone going to chill for overtime?
Game on.
It's been a 50-50 break both sides, apart from some big snake runs. Nothing in it just yet, but it's so close. Already 10 seconds has gone. Smith in the snake 50. Kamikaze on that quarter brick snake side. It's not going to be enough time. Just so much paint being thrown out. My heavens.
Game time finished. No points. Game finished.
That means overtime, ladies and gentlemen.
Ready for overtime, same side?
Cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. Kamikaze came back to force the overtime. There was a 3-1 lead on Fury. Fury need to wake up here. If they bring home the overtime, I'm sure they'll still be happy with winning it, but they need to go back to the drawing board and figure out how they let this happen. Kamikaze did struggle in their defense. The Kamikaze did struggle a bit in the beginning and really seemed to find their feet, which is really positive stuff. Don't go anywhere though. We'll be right back in about a minute and a half to get you back involved.
Sorry to bother so early. I've started at 6 o'clock with my games already, and in the rain. Can you
just help me on the tablet version of the software.
1 minute.
For some other reason, it doesn't want to go into overtime. I've set it up for overtime, but when it reaches the end of the game, it doesn't automatically activate overtime. Is there something I'm doing wrong or that I need to change? Yeah, I've done that as well.
30 seconds.
Yeah, Google Play.
Timeout.
It's weird because no, there is nothing but you can do wrong. I can try to send you to email the newest version, but so one more thing. Are you downloading your game schedule
1 minute.
from the web
Yes, I am. Yeah.
and the settings?
The different divisions I've set up on the.
No, so on PD links there are settings for download available, but I'm not sure how it was on PB Resolve. So I need to check with Maris first because one thing is that
30 seconds.
maybe it's something connected with this schedule and settings download.
Okay.
20 seconds.
Because when you download the schedule and the settings from the so then
10 seconds.
You're hearing your 10-second counter in the background. Your first overtime, Fury versus Kamikaze in your Challengers division. Fury, same side in green. This is going to be a long point. This is about survivability, not getting picked off. Snakes back in action immediately. Kamikaze's dropped the play on that far Dorito corner. They've now lost another Dorito player. This is not what Kamikaze wanted. Fury need to stay alive here. Kamikaze has done all the hard grind to force the overtime. They can't throw it away now.
Or just send me a message because we're broadcasting from here as well. If you can send me a message, that would be great.
There's a Fury player outside the cluster. Now there's on 50 side. They force it. Picks up one player. How has this happened? The Fury players run past. Now he's picked him up. But the Fury player actually ran past. Picked up another one. That was interesting. I've never seen that before. I hope you picked that up on the wall. The Fury player ran right past the Kamikaze player in Snake. Missed him. Thought he picked him up in the bunkering. Missed him. Carried on. Then got picked up further down the field. But the Kamikaze player didn't get hit and carried on. But Fury has done it. They've won the first overtime in quite a quick fashion as well. Quite interesting that they were 3-1 up. Lost 2-3 in a row, I believe, to tie it up 3-3. And then now in overtime, they show Kamikaze Flames absolutely dominating the boys from Durban. But they will still need to have a big conversation on how they allowed themselves to be in overtime when they shouldn't have
Point approved.
originally. Well done, Fury. So you're set there. Pretty simple stuff there. Where are we? Legacy beat Underdogs 4-0, and then Team Fury beating Kamikaze 4-3 in overtime. Next, we have All Stars versus Double Tap. That should be an interesting matchup. And then Team Fury again, back-to-back games against Underdogs. Don't go anywhere. My name is Adam Zawada whilst we get the teams and everything ready. Bye for now.
Take my hand and we'll go away to a different place. Float on air and we'll hide away. I'll be your escape. Look up and feel the shifting wind tossing us around again. Hold tight, get ready to begin and just levitate. take my hand and we'll go away to a different place. Float on air and we'll hide away. I'll be your escape. Look up and feel the shifting winds tossing us around again. Hold tight, you're ready to begin, and just levitate. Take my hand and we'll go away to a different place. Float on air and we'll hide away. I'll be your escape. Look up and feel the shifting winds tossing us around again. Hold tight, get ready to begin and just levitate.
Seconds.
At the 20-second counter, double tap versus All Stars. It's 3-2 to double tap at the moment. They've come back well. All Stars was leading originally. This is some good, big
10
comebacks we're
seconds.
seeing. 54 allows this to happen.
Game on.
All-star player called in the slide. He's going to be annoyed at himself. You can't let yourself get picked up in the slide. Wearing that one on the hopper. Yes, you can hear in the background a lot of paint. A lot of bounces as well. Not a lot of popping going off there. All-star moving up. Snap cluster into that snap one position. Double tap to have Dorito 1 and Snake corner player, but he's throwing a lot of paint down, trying to keep people down. Double tap player wearing it on the shoulder. He's going to have to leave. Busy trying to communicate. He got picked off in that Snake outside the cluster. Good
60
shooting.
seconds.
A close shot. It was, the bullets were going. It was good shooting from All-Star. No idea which player. All-Star starting to move up now. Teams Dorito trying to bunker a player, does get himself knocked out, doesn't bunker. Chisholm in 50, Snake 50 moving up. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock. Another All-Star player moving up, but he's picked out of the Snake 50. There's not going to be enough guns. There's just not enough All-Stars. They're there. There's just not enough of them. 6, 5, 4, 3. Player called an All-Stars, and that's that.
Game time finish. Game finished.
Double tap, coming back. All-Stars won't be happy about that. They played really well earlier, took the lead. They struggled a little bit. Double tap coming back, very strong. We're going to set up your next set, so to speak, completely of games, which straight up is Brutal Affliction 2 versus Kaukazi, and then Legacy back in action against Sid. Don't worry, my name is Water, and we'll be right back. Super Cup 2018.
Game on.
Brutal Affliction 2 in purple, breaking left to right against Kamikaze. Kamikaze did struggled a little bit earlier this morning, but they're back in action now. The sun is out and it is really cooking. All the rain's made it do was made it a little more humid. It's getting so warm, the bunkers are starting to pop. The refs are looking at it, but hey, they can't keep up with the rising temp. Oh, there's been a yellow flag on the field. I do believe it's on Kamikaze's side. This helps Brutal Affliction. It's time for them to move up now. Can they take advantage?
Towel. Towel.
Towel thrown in by Kamikaze. That yellow flag being a little bit too much for them. They couldn't handle it at all. Brutal Affliction moving up then 1-0 into the lead. Early, very quick point there as well. Playing on off to him, the loader. Minor penalty
30
for
seconds.
Legacy back in action against Sin. I'm loving those Legacy jerseys. Really, really am. A lot of these Legacy players, if not all of them, I wouldn't be
20
surprised,
seconds.
play Gauteng under 19s, and they played it very, very well yesterday to take a second.
10 seconds. Game on.
Big slide. Sin immediately throw a snake 50. Someone, Sin player picked off with that 3/4 brick on the snake side. It's a long day of paintball today. Sun is out. Was a little late. We'll have to see. It's only after 1 or 2, which is many hours away. So we'll have a look later. I do see that there's a Legacy player now. Dorito 4. Sin player now, Snake 50. A Legacy player moves into the 3/4 brick on the Snake side. There's a Duke off the Snake side. We're going to wear it. A yellow flag on Legacy side. That's exactly what the Sin player's hands were raised in confusion. He said, how could this happen? It means Legacy lost another player there. Yellow flag infringement. Sin loses with the Dorito 1 player. I don't know who's left after these flags and who's been shot on the far side. Not sure what the numbers are. Dorito 4 player moving up. Sin moves Dorito 1. Sin a bit more defensive than Legacy at the moment. There's a big bunker out. Player gets called out on Sin side. We're having a look now for Legacy. He kept running, so he called himself out. There's still a live player for Sin 2, actually. I think that's the end of Sin, though, allowing Legacy to come up and snap the point. This is Jared, one of the Sin players, walking in front of me now. Yeah, Sin's done. Legacy going to take the first point in the set.
Towel. Towel. Towel.
Legacy keeping the presence of mind
Point
to
approved.
wind down the clock, and they did exactly that. They didn't go for the base buzzer, but wise to it, they didn't get confused, they didn't get distracted, and the towel thrown in. So not too much time gained by Legacy or lost by Sin there. Next set on the
30
cards, though,
seconds.
straight up, is Brutal Affliction versus Kamikaze. They will be swapping sides. Which one? Kamikaze should be popping up on your screen real soon. They'll be breaking
10 seconds.
They can't get another yellow flag and go down to people in under 40 seconds. They need to avoid that.
Game on.
Brutal, so big slides, huge slide into the snake cluster. He's outside of it though, so he's on the side. Who I'm not sure it is. I think it's Van der Kracht. Player called on side. Oh, that Kamikaze player got lit up a little bit. That saw a bit of a limp there. He wore a lot. The original wore that a lot. Holding for how many seconds? Brutal looking strong. They are the team to beat at the moment. If I remember division to see where they're sitting. Plans are Kamikaze dropping a few bodies that is not what they would have wanted. Brutal Affliction sitting fourth. They've had two. They finished second twice actually. They have taken out all the Kamikaze players. We cannot keep the screen here, so they should get the next point, leading 2-0. I see All Stars is actually all the way up front, finishing 1, 3, 1, and 3.
Ace.
Whilst then Team Fury coming in here with a 6-1. 6-1, 3-1. There's a big point difference between the two. That not big at all. Those Super Cup everything double points.
Point approved.
But that literally means that Legacy can also move up. It takes a big points here. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah. So this Challengers division is anyone's game really for the whole season. Is one way of looking at it. But yeah, Kamikaze struggled a little bit there. They took a flag. They got a few hits.
30 seconds.
Back to Legacy is third. Only 2 minutes played here.
Twenty seconds. 10 seconds.
10 seconds, Ghana. Let's see what Legacy can do.
Game on.
Sid's going to want to get on the ball, and time's not an issue here. I don't think anyone should be rushing. There's a Legacy player. There's a Legacy player outside the snake cluster in snake 1. Looks like there's a player on the far Dorito side. He's been checked and cleared. The ref will be checking the Sin player now in the bunker. He's been cleared to play. Refs getting in there. Part of the hits coming through as well. Series 2 Sin players leaving the field. Kirk Russell's being one of them. This is the biggest frog in existence in the private. Let's see if we can get around it now. Sin's got the couple players now as well. Legacy very quick to move up. Big bunkering happening in the safety snake corner. I think the Legacy player got pulled, and not even no, I suppose no, he got pulled. It was Darren Pepler on Sin's side getting pulled out there, so Legacy free to take another point. They're looking in good form. Sorry, there was a legacy player leaving, and because of his light stroll, who's the best has been hooked in the corner. He's been called out. Legacy losing one as well, but they've still got a player around. They did a full 360 on not Pepler, sorry, I mispronounced
Base.
coming around on him, and they managed to get the base point. You know what happened earlier is I saw a legacy player leaving the field, but because of his easy game, and I thought Sin had been eliminated, they had no players left on the field, and because of his easy walk, I thought, okay, well that's that, no more players, they're just walking up to the base, there's there. And no, he was actually off, he had been taken out, he was eliminated, not smooth at all, Adam.
Point approved.
There's your point approval. So that's a 2-0 lead. It's the same scoreline with Brutal, Affliction 2 and Kamikaze.
30 seconds.
Almost mirroring each other here, so some strong teams here.
20 seconds.
I said some of the guys, they can use the 3-man.
Brutal, purple,
Game on.
right. Kamikaze is going to want to get off board. Brutal has been looking quite dominated by big sliding by Kamikaze into the 3-quarter break on that side. Brutal Affliction loses 1-2 player. Looks like Kamikaze has got a bit of advantage here. Can they now clutch it into some points? As I mentioned, that they lose a player as well. Good communication comes from Kamikaze. See, if he's close, he can definitely cheat a little bit. I take zero responsibility if they wear the jersey, legitimately. If you're going to wear a jersey with another dude's name, your new name is wrong. So I'm going to carry on referring to the handwritten Kamikaze. And hopefully then we learn a lesson. No, because I mean now I must know your own name. No. Reginald, good luck. The two Kamikaze players now in the snake, but Reginald is on the wrong side. They're on each other's side of the same object. Players out. The big exchange here, both of them wearing it in the goggles. Ooh, a bit of a fancy look at one another. If they didn't have masks, they'd be eyeballing. Unlucky, Reginald. No, like it's a thing now, Paul. It's Reginald. And it looks like Kamikaze is going to be taking a point here. Well played.
Base.
Like I said, we know Kamikaze has the ability to. It's just sometimes they don't find the gear or they don't step up when we think they have it. And no, whilst we have the time waiting for approval, a public service announcement, if you wear another player's shirt, that is forever your name from now on. Forever. I don't feel bad about this.
Point approved.
Paintballers are known for their banter. Head ref firing from Sarden, can I have your opinion on this matter, please?
I agree.
Say again?
Whatever the name is on your shirt, that shall be forever.
Thank you. Even if then you're welcome to change shirts, but don't be angry if I get it wrong.
For the rest of the day.
30 seconds.
I agree, head porpoise. Thank you. Anyway, back to the paintball. Legacy versus Sim. 2-0 up. Legacy.
20 seconds.
Minutes left. They have no swap sides. They're on their bunkers. Not their bunker sides. Their pit sides. So Legacy is left to right. Center right there.
10 seconds. Game on.
Big breakout. 3-quarter bunkers being utilized, mirrored on both sides. No one in the snakes just yet. Dorito seems the popular one this time around. Legacy drop a play on the far Dorito side. Sin trying to move up, trying to gain some field dominance here. I'm hearing some gas. Someone's losing a lot of air out of their gun. And it's constant. Shooting. This is very confusing. Out of the field, come to think about it now. Was back down that snake lane. Sin's got the right of it here. They're not feeling right to get the points back. 3, 4, all 5 guys are now into snake 1 outside the cluster, so they're as far out of the field as they can be while still being inside a bunker. They're moving high. They're not rushing though. This is nice from Sin. Ah, unlucky. Sin player leans out a little too far. Wears one on the hand. Loses another player as well. This is where Sin didn't what they didn't want. Patience would have been more key here. Legacy moving up. They're going to force the bunker. He does a big slide bunker. Oh, red flag turn. This is on Kamikaze. I do believe this is going to be for spinning, because that was a beautiful play by the Legacy lad. He went down on the ground, slide, shot up. Ooh, very interesting. There's 2 red flags. I think they're for the same infringement. Base hit. Legacy probably going to take a 3-0 lead. What's going to happen with this infringement? Do Sin now start with 3 or start with 4? That is the question.
Point approved.
Point approved. Legacy 3-0 up over. I have a feeling it was for turning and shooting, so actually overshooting, vicious shooting, shooting with intent. After being struck, of course.
30 seconds.
Brutal
20 seconds.
this match into contention. I think they can. I know they have the ability to. How they do it, or if they do it, is up to them. I sound like a pro.
10 seconds. Game on.
So both the red flags were for the same infringements picked up on different sides of the field. Oy, let's get back to those flags in a second. Find a crack for brutal affliction at the snake 50. There's a kamikaze play on the snake. Cleared to play. They're trying to duke it out. I feel the kamikaze player missed an opportunity there. There's another kamikaze player on the snake 50. Oh, is there going to be the exchange? There's your exchange. One player each, though, naturally in the turn. Fair enough. Fair is fair. Kamikaze are going to pull this back. I don't believe it. Brutal affliction have turned off. This is not what they would have wanted. Kamikaze can move up. It looks like they're going to tie it up at 2 apiece. Here's another Reginald. Reginald Houghton. Is it the actual Reginald? Okay, so we're looking at the real Reginald. Is this the real original now for Kamikaze? Okay, we have got confirmation from Head Porpoise Byron from start, and this is the real original Van Houten in front of the booth now, playing for Kamikaze. Honestly.
Point approved.
Well done, Kamikaze. Bring it back. We said they had the ability. Let's see if they can bring it further, or Brutals has something to say about that. Legacy versus the last 4 minutes of this set.
30 seconds.
Here we go. Legacy versus 3 under 4 minutes to
20
play.
seconds.
How is this going to play out? Is Sin going to get on the board? That red flag, sorry, by the way, was, as I explained, essentially, I just got the confirmation.
10 seconds.
Both flags were for the same issue, and it was essentially the Legacy lad slid in, shot, the player was out, facing the other way, turned around, and then shot the player, and landed it, so it's a major infringement. Legacy straight into that snake 50. Sin trying the same thing, but he's being held up on that three-quarter bunker. Sin loses a back bunker, Dorito player. Snake, and then another back can bunker. They've got 2 snake players here, though, Sin. Legacy player cleared. Straight off the bat. Refs are watching like hawks. Don't hit me, don't hit me. I don't want it. They go seeing each other. One's out, both's out. So it's a 1-for-1. Now Sin move up. Trying to run up. Is it Dukov? I'm not sure if he got picked up. I think he got in his bunker soon enough. He's out, wearing it in the goggle. Legacy Kid wore it as well. But that's no more Sins left, though, which allows Legacy to go for a 4-0 whitewash in just over 7 minutes. Very, very impressive play by Sin. Very well supported. I'm seeing a lot of pink in the crowd. Base. There we go. I definitely think it will be confirmed. So Legacy will whitewash in the Challengers division of 4-0. Very, very well played, Legacy. Unlucky Sin. I think back to the drawing board. Let's figure out what happened. And I'm sure you guys are going to come back even stronger and better in your next game. The logistics are taking long here.
Point approved.
There it is. Well done, Legacy, winning 4-0 over Sin. Your next game, though, Brutal Affliction 2 is Kamikaze. This one's contentious. This one's tight. This is nobody walk in the park, and that's for sure. It's tied up at 2-2 as the scoreboard tells you. There's over 5 minutes left to play. It's definitely going to be a 5 or 6 point thriller.
20 seconds. Ten seconds. Game on.
Kamikaze slides into outside the cluster, struggling with his gun. He's been picked up for it, been hit. Van der Krog back into that snake 50. If he gets in the other side, because there's a play on the brick 50 on the Dorito side. If they get eyes on one another, this is going to get interesting in the booth, that's for sure. 2-2 still. Time's not an issue. Supporter's busy flying a drone, getting his own bird's eye view, which is pretty cool. It must be a have a view as well. Dorito 4 being utilized by Brutal Affliction 2 at the moment. Kamikaze moving up. Kamikaze playing that break 50, almost 8-1 in the teeth. Got away with it though. The Snake, Brutal loses a player, one of their back bunkers. I've noticed though, when Brutal have their back bunkers, they tend to win a point. If they get picked off and then the guys up front are left on their own without the support, they tend to struggle a little bit there. The brick 50 on Kamikaze called out. There's a 3/4 brick play on the Snake side as well for Brutal. Not sure how many guns on Kamikaze side. Kamikaze slides into the Snake one outside the cluster. He can get behind these two players if he's very careful, but he's been picked up. I think he wore it on the pod. I think that's no more Kamikaze players left. I think that's it, yeah. So Brittle can.
Towel.
Doesn't even go to the base race.
Point approved.
So it's 3-2 to Brutal Affliction. They take the point. They're going to take 2 minutes to breathe and get some more paint. We're going to do the same thing. Don't go anywhere. We still need to see who wins the set.
Take my hand and we'll go away to a different place. Float on air and we'll hide away. I'll be your escape. Look up and feel the shifting winds tossing us around again. Hold tight, get ready to begin and just levitate. could run.
10 seconds. Game on.
Kamikaze coming left to right. There's enough time. Player called off the break. Straight off Kamikaze, wearing it on the hip. If they can tie this up, we could have some challenger overtime. The three-quarter bunker also picked out. That's two down too quickly. That's not what they would have wanted to come out to. Brutal's going to hold the fort down. We know they're going to hold tight. They've done it before. How are they going to control this? Brutal moving a player into that snake 50. Kamikaze moving a player into that three-quarter brick snake side. Let's see how this happens. It's 3-2. The scoreboard says it all. 2 minutes left. Brutal need to be patient here. There's no need to rush. Dorito 2 being used by Kamikaze. They know he's there though. Kamikaze lose another back bunker player. Brutal loses their Brick 50 player. So let's see what happens. They've got some Dorito players in at the moment. Brutal, what are you doing? They're holding firm. That's exactly what they're doing. Time is ticking, 1 minute 30. That sound you're hearing is Brutal knocking at the door of victory, or is Kamikaze going to snatch defeat? A Dorito Kamikaze player played. There's a big 50 hit now. They're trying to push it. The Kamikaze player picked the Snake 50. Brutal loses a Dorito player. Who is left? Brutal still have a back bunker player playing defensively. Towel. In. Kamikaze not able to bring a point back there. It's 4-2 to Brutal. A minute left to play. How are we going to do this? Now they're going to take their 2 minutes, as are we, as the teams get ready. It is getting warm, folks. I can tell you that much now. It is hot out there. Don't go anywhere, though. We'll be right back. We are back. Super Cup 2018. My name is Adam Zwada, keeping you busy yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Let's just hope the throat handles out. We are looking at Brutal Affliction 2 on your screen. That's the team against Kamikaze. How is this going to go down? The current score kind of gives you a hint. Brutal Affliction will be breaking left to right. This is a 6-point thriller. It's not often you get so many points. Kamikaze was bringing it back at a stage. They were really bringing it back at a stage. They were unlucky not to take an extra point there. But Brutal Affliction's holding firm. That doesn't mean they're done though. Kamikaze showing their intent. Sliding in well. They've got a Snake 50 in the cluster and a Snake 1 outside the cluster. Trying to pick up that quarter brick play on the Snake side of Brutal Affliction. Now they're mixing it up. Player gets called out though. Almost falls. Player is called out on Kamikaze side. Another player out for Kamikaze in that Snake position. They're pushing hard, but I don't think they're going to have it in them. There's less than 20 seconds left. 15 seconds left. This is definitely going to Brutal Affliction 2. Well played, Brutal Affliction 2. Solid performance. There was a bit of a lull when they let Kamikaze come back at them a bit, but it looks like that should be that.
Game time finish.
There you have it. Brutal Affliction 2 beating Kamikaze 4-2. What that means, your stats is Legacy beating Sin 4-0, and I just mentioned Brutal beating Kamikaze 4-2. Your next set is All Stars versus Kamikaze, back-to-back games, not easy. Team Fury's back in action. The Durban boys are against Sin. Don't go anywhere. We're going to set this up. My name is Adam Zawada, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Let's go, guys! Let's go, guys!
Then it's champions what for? But from 1 until 4, 5.
2 minutes.
Well, you should be catching. Well, how far are we behind now? I think you're gonna definitely catch some of the fun up with the thing.
Yeah. I haven't really yesterday with the Freeman. That's not where I bought up. 5 men I bought up. And even with these ones, if the games get quite quick, I tend to do it.
It's amazing too, but you always catch up, we know that. But I've noticed, depending on how the point plays
I
out.
need to stop this Makazi just play, but I'll let it run down and then I'll just get him. They are ready. They're just getting refills and shit.
If they both play and it like goes clean, and they should, don't play it.
Take my hand and we'll go
20 seconds.
All-Stars versus Kamikaze. Kamikaze played back-to-back games. It's a big year for T. This heat, oi,
10 seconds.
would not want to be them. But let's see if they can rally together and see what they can do against All-Star.
Game on.
Stars breaking left to right, Kamikaze right to left. Kamikaze loses back bunker player. All Stars throwing in that snake 50. They're going to want to wrap this up. No games here for them. One player gets picked off as well for Kamikaze, so definitely only one or two alive. But All Stars circling, pulling in, and that's that. They're going to go hit that base.
Base.
We're going to wait on that confirmation though, and then move forward from there. Remember, your other set is Team 3 versus. Remember, this is the second last set of four challenges today. Then we go into a quick little three-man, which should be lots of fun. Three-man's always, well, frankly, lots of fun.
30 seconds.
The Durban boys in green are going to be left to right, Sin right to left, and then
20 seconds.
pink, blue, black.
Ten seconds. Game on.
Stuff. Snake one. Snake one just outside the spot that wants to move up. Doesn't quite pick up that Bermuda player. Player is pulled out from the far side. He's going to get bunkered from that anyway. Gets bunkered from behind. Both players out of those Dorito corners. Fury can take one.
Towel. 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 Point approved.
They really don't want that the base thing and keep the clock down as much as possible.
Mask came off play the side. If you saw it on your side. One of the all guys.
Also on Sin side, then causing the lack of numbers, which is great. Soon we are back to also
20 seconds.
sides swap as well.
10 seconds.
Happening in the background of my quiet studio here. Kamikaze breaking left to right in a mismatch.
Game on.
Original 2.0, not the real original. Kamikaze, another player gets pulled out of the back bunker wearing an external shirt. I like that shirt. Fake original got popped across when he was in that three-quarter brick buck on the snake side. Been another call out, not sure flag though. This is there's very few Kamikaze players left on the field. Can tell you now that Oslos are going to take a point.
Base.
If you do some quick maths, that is a point a minute in 8 minutes left to play. Two be played. All-Stars really looking on top of the world at the moment. Kamikaze needs to look at their discipline, ladies and gentlemen. In the previous game, as well, the way the game panned out, and we could not see where all the guys went. There wasn't a flag. A mask came off a player, which is a minor infringement because safe is such a worry. We don't want to thing out where suddenly someone gets hurt.
Game on.
Game on, that player wasn't a free player. Is out. Now another player's sock was on, so he takes
Ace.
the flag off. Silly mistakes here, all stars. Silly. Let's wait for confirmation if there is any.
Point approved.
There we go. Thank heavens that happened for All Stars because they were running out of players. But that's 2-0 lead. Fury against Sin last time. We played. How's it going to play out though?
Thirty seconds. Twenty seconds. 10 seconds.
There's a 10-second counter. Fury will be breaking right to left.
Game on.
Both using that three-quarter bunker then on the snake side. I hope no one accuses me of favoritism. And even if they do, apologies. It's just the same players come to the same place. And me being a fixed kind of locked me down here. 4 at the moment, 2 Sin. They clutch a point out here with me being locked down in for me to go except commentate on what I can see. There's a Sin play, the snake 50, Dorito 4 and three-quarter bunker as well. Players be called on the Dorito 4 side. Sins, they're struggling. Fury, I see one in front of me now. See 1 or 2 Sins drops. It doesn't look like the clutch is there for them. They need to get a point on the board though. Another Fury player has been taken out. The snake side's getting heated. because there's literally so close they could spit on another. If you can just pick him up behind that wing 50 in the cluster, that snake 50, does he know he's there though? Does he know he's there though? Oh, player hit the bunker so hard he pulled it out the tethering. He got pulled out there as well because he took a hit. He just slid a little bit. Big exchange there. The player gets hit. Oh, very, very close there. A whole bunker got removed there. Heavens. So look now the new players in that Dorito 3, that bunker that got overturned. Fury player's been taken out. There's another one alive though. Not sure if it's 1 or 2. I think we might have a one-on-one here. It is a one-on-one. Exciting stuff. This is when wolves rise in one-on-one scenarios. It's a bit of firing going off there now. And it's been a snapshot. He picked him up. Well played by that Fury player. Fury player did well. Snapped 2 past the bunker. Picked him up. Well done. 2-0 Fury. 5 minutes left to be played there, which keeps things interesting. All-Stars 2-0 over Kamikaze. I am tired, ladies and gentlemen, I must admit. The throat is getting a little sore. It's also getting pretty warm here with the rain this morning, a little humid.
30 seconds.
The river is looking absolutely delightful at the Emerald Resort and Casino. What a venue for Super Cup 2018. The fans are here,
seconds.
supporters are here, couple drinks, some beautiful ladies walking around as well, and some great paintball on
10
offer.
seconds.
All-Stars breaking left to right. They're into their traditional pit side break. A lot of paint being thrown out, not much action just yet. The wind's really picked up again, which should help in keeping the players cool, including the refs, but wind might be bringing rain with it. There's going to be a big exchange here. One player, neither of them hit. One hit, one in the hand, and then the other Kamikaze player taken out as well. So a 1-for-1 exchange there. All-Stars probably happy to play a more defensive role here, 2 points up. But there's a lot of time. They don't want to give Kamikaze even a foot in the door. Kamikaze clawed back some points in their previous set as well, so they'll definitely have the ability to do it. Kamikaze loses their back. Another player's called out on Kamikaze. They slide a bit into Snake 1. Trying to pick up a player there, force an exchange. Players behind the bunker. He stayed safe the whole run in. I think it's a 2v1 or a 2v2 at the moment. Losing players. It's a 3v2 in All-Stars' favour. Here's your exchange. Great play here by JV. Picking up a player. He's got the ability to pick up a second here if you opened up. He does exactly that. Great stuff. He's picked up those 2 All-Stars and managed to hit a base, if not 3rd All-Star. That was a very great individualistic play. Right, I'm not suggesting Kamikaze didn't help. It's a team game, of course. But that run here on the Snake side, picking up 1, picking up 2. Not sure if he picked up the 3rd. It was on the far Dorito side, but he cut that field in twain with his skills there to bring back a point for Kamikaze, and one that they've been searching for.
Point approved.
You heard the point approval there in the background. The ref running around a few bunkers. They have to reseat that bunker that got knocked off its block. Fury 2-0 against Sin. 5 minutes left to
30
be played.
seconds.
Can Fury make it 3 from 3 wins, I believe? I'll have to double check for you though.
20 seconds. 10 seconds. Game on.
Wanting to get on the board, so they know they have the ability to. Fury has this ability of going 2-0 up and then in the same breath having the ability to go 2-2 at the same time. They open the door up. If Sin take advantage of it, they're back in this game. But can the boys from Durban shut this down or let them in? Sin losing a play in the back Dorito corner. Moving into that three-quarter brick bunker on the Snake side. Fury losing their own defensive line player. Not much field movement at the moment, a bit of paint being thrown, lots of communication between the two teams, trying to pick each other up. Remember, after this set, there's the last challenges set between Brutal, Underdogs, Double Tap and Legacy. Then it is some quick 3-man to ease things up a little. Give some of the refs a breather. I'll probably go grab a spot bite to eat as well. No, again, not much movement happening between Fury and Sin. Even whilst I'm talking, I look at the field and I'm not seeing bodies drop. This looks like it's going to be a long haul, which I think is the right way to approach it by Sin. They're making sure that they are not rushing themselves or anything like that. Making sure not to rush themselves. There's enough time that if they take a point now, they can still take a second. Paint's probably getting a little thin now, though. Sin player moving into the Snake 50. Who's that? SARPL for Sin. See Fury happy to sit back. No rush on their side. They're holding a defensive line. Now they move a player up and the player gets hit and takes exactly that because of that Snake 50. Didn't know he was there. Got picked up from a 45-degree angle. There's a three-quarter. They know that Snake 50 is there. They force the engagement. SARPL getting hit from 2 sides at once. Couldn't even turn his retaliation. He's out of there. Now Fury able to move up. There was a nice run up the Snake side outside the cluster from Smith. Talking to his mate. Oh, there's a Dorito one. He got picked up on the Dorito side. The good shooting by the other player. I don't know his name. I think it says Smith as well. They might be brothers, I assume then. Well, really, now brothers have the... Oh, they're all on the same team. Do they all say Smith on the back? It's like they do it purposefully. And now 2 of them are twins as well. These Durban boys are making my life irrespective of that. Well played, Fury. That was a good point to take. But they came back. Also in Sin well, they didn't rush themselves. And they were just a little unlucky, dropping here or there. But they weren't far away from taking the point, that's for sure.
30 seconds.
JV for Kamikaze walking past the booth, the man with the previous play of a powerful play, so to speak, of
20
where he
seconds.
won Kamikaze a point there. Why did they just pick names
10
with it? Why
seconds.
did they just pick shirts with their first name? Fury try and survive that original chaos.
This whole scenario is an absolute cluster. It's probably trailing the All-Star with those positive views, moving up, moving across the snake 15.
Exactly that. All-Stars are going to push through.
Towel. Towel.
To it though, they're not enough
Point approved.
time to get rested. Now, Fury versus Sin. Under 2 minutes left to be played. Will they pull off a whitewash here?
30 seconds.
Oh, but there's a butter now. Information.
20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Fury looking good though. Let's see what they got.
Let's see if they can whitewash Sin or not. Sin's going to try everything they can not to let that happen.
Game on.
I almost put money down to Smith right next to me. Ah, damn it, you should have taken the bet.
Shaw, sorry, gets picked up his way of doing it though. There's a yellow flag on the
60 seconds.
get on the hand and still carrying on. It's not what Sin would have wanted going through. There's only 60 seconds left on the
Clock. Fury needs to sit back and chill. There's no need to rush this. 3.
in counts as 4.
They've lost one of their Dorito players, Fury. I think they've only got 2.
Not sure how many is left on Sin though.
One of the ref wore one in the testicular region area. It was quite funny to watch. They're trying to
That Fury play on the far side. They're picking him up cleanly as well. And it's not going to be enough time. It's under 10 seconds. It's not going to be enough. Even if they get to their buzzer, they're claim a nice little point. Oh, that. I'm looking at time. I'm looking at the buzzer. Oh.
Game time finish. Game finish.
Game finish. Fury wins it 3-0. The boys from Durban. Let me rephrase. The brothers from Durban winning that one there. No, I kid. Well done on Fury with back-to-back wins there. Very, very solid stuff. I see it correct. And Andre and Eon and Duan brothers. That doesn't help me when all 3 of their names say Smith on the back of their shit. But I appreciate that, Etienne. Now I know which Smith I can talk to in any given scenario. I bet they play similar positions as well. No, I wouldn't know. But anyway, congrats to Fury on winning that 3-0. The boys from Durban doing really, really well there. We got All-Stars and Kamikaze. 4 minutes left on the clock. I'm curious to see how this pans out.
Twenty seconds.
Here's your 20-second counter. Time
10
is ticking.
seconds. Game on.
Bet you can guess who it is. Asking for a check here, this three-quarter break. Being called out as well. It looks like All Stars have taken all the kamikaze guys out and they're moving in for a point. They're going to go 4-1 up. There's still 2 minutes, just sharp 2 minutes left on the clock there. So this should be quite interesting to see how they get this right. No rush there, they're making sure they're all clear. Now they're going for the base hit.
Base.
Base hit, that's going to be a 4-1 lead for Kamikaze. My heavens, as you can see, it's been a long Super Cup already. All-Star going up 4-1, apologies. We wait for that confirmation.
To prove.
There we go. All-Stars take a 4-1 lead with a minute and a half left to go. We're going to take a quick breather, as are the players. And All-Stars and Kamikaze are going to be back to duke off that last minute and a half. Can Kamikaze come back is the question. We will be right back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are trying to work on the sound, so we are testing a live mic at the moment, another microphone, just to make sure that we can bring the best quality to you at home on YouTube, whether it be Durban, Cape Town, wherever it is around the world. I even saw earlier we had a comment all the way from Dubai.
1 minute.
Dubai. So essentially, we were looking at the statements. Playing around with some microphones in studio here, trying to get the sound to come right. Not sure which microphone I'm supposed to be talking into.
30 seconds.
Testing. There's about the timeout has been taken. So timeout has been taken on All Stars side. They're not going to feel rushed here at all with only a minute or so to be taken.
One minute. 30 seconds.
Your 30-second counter. Remember, this is the second loss. After this, there's only the one set left of Challengers Division. Mercy 4.
seconds.
Then we do a little bit of three-man. Let's keep the field fresh. Keep the sport fresh. And then the rest of the afternoon, nothing but
10
champions.
seconds.
I'm sure everyone's looking forward to seeing the pros out in action there. 10-second counter. Kamikaze breaking left from right. All Stars probably going to take
Game
defensive role here. No need for them to push too hard. The little jump, hop, and skip there from Kralin trying to pop one over the three-quarter brick bunker. It's moving into Snake 50. He has picked up that Kamikaze middle player and that Temple bunker. All Stars get picked out of that Snake 50 themselves. Seeing two Kamikaze players. Both regionals from Kamikaze are out. Both
60
original
seconds.
Reginald, who's wearing the correct shirt, and Reginald 2.0 is wearing coming past me as well. The third Kamikaze player comes past me, but it doesn't say Reginald, but that means there's only two guns left on the field. Kill 4, I'm hearing the call from All Stars. All Stars moving up smoothly. They've really shown their skills today. Really solid performance from them. They're trying to bunker that last player. They do exactly that. If they hit the base, they win.
Base.
That is Mercy 4 if this point is confirmed, which means you win by 4, which they've done here. 5-1, a 6-point thriller in under 9.5 minutes. Really, really solid performance by All Stars. Kamikaze had moments of utter brilliance, just struggling to clutch it on the board.
Point approved. Game finished.
There you go. That is the end of that set there. What we are going to do, let you know your next set of games, which is the last challenger set for the day, which is Brutal Affliction 2 is back in action against Underdogs, and then Double Tap versus Legacy. Legacy looking like the team to beat, as is All Stars. So far, Legacy has whitewashed a par few opponents, but hey, let's see how it plans out. There's still another set left, then some three-man, then we have the champions just round about after one-ish is the idea. But don't go anywhere. My name is Amzawada, commentating live from Super Cup 2018.
It's good to be back in action. We're busy looking at our last set of challenges coming up. See, apparently I feel I don't talk too much, so I'm getting more and more involved. So it's a good day out here at Emerald Resort and Casino. But we're also testing gear because we try to sort out the sound system. So once we know what the story is there, I will probably be right back on air.
Change your sample rate to 48. Let's go down again. No, you were in the right settings. Let's go.
We could run from Bolivia and let it burn, let it burn. You gotta know that nothing lasts for.
We're busy testing microphones out here. Super Cup 2018. My name is Adam Zawada, here for a long time to stay. I lie, I'm here until Sunday actually. Super Cup 2018. We're still testing the microphone. Seem to be coming right slowly but surely. Remember, it did rain this morning, so we are dealing with a few more gremlins this morning, which is a problem in its own right. So we're going to have to see how that pans out. We got our own technical technicians in here of huge experiences, especially when it comes to sound. I'm looking forward to Champions, if I'm honest. That's going to be good fun. Remember, your next set is Brutal Affliction 2 versus Underdogs, then Double Tap versus Legacy, your last Challengers division. Then we got some three-mans involved, and then we're throwing in the champions. All afternoon, nothing but paintball, only in Super Cup 2018, live from Emerald Resort and Casino.
Puts down again, please. Come on, let's go! Try to change Adam onto 2. See the difference between them?
Doing the guns, the players are getting ready. It is exciting stuff. Your last challenge is set. I can't get enough. The sun is out, which means the guns are out. We know the drill. We might not be near a beach, but we are right by a river. The amount of wife
2 minutes.
the amount of wife beaters I've actually seen here is spectacular.
She's over here, I mean, sorry, the other one's over here.
So, as I was saying, the sun, the guns are out, eh? So many wife beaters out. The supporters are here to watch. We've got some good food, some good drinks, and some very pretty girls, I might add. I don't know their names, but I'm sure someone will introduce me at some stage or another. What we're going to then do is clapping around with some sound. It's good stuff here. The refs are doing their job. Are you doing yours? It doesn't sound like what are your plans? There's a lot of football on them. If you're a Premier League fan, don't miss it. But KFC in itself a knockout as well. But none of it compares to paintball. What is the plan, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you're trying. It is key December, boss.
He's not coming. Oh, one?
It is key December, boss, so we've got to
1
try and make
minute.
something happen here. You've got to be enjoying it. Sorry if you're not on leave. But hey, if you're not on leave yet, you're definitely not going to have January because you're working harder than everyone else, it seems.
Go again.
So there's very well, All Stars also at the top of the standings, I believe. Remember, Super Cup does stand for double points, so you can blitz from the back.
30 seconds.
You have a good setup there.
Twenty seconds.
20-second counter there. We got Brutal Affliction coming left to right, and the SARPL, the underdog on your right left. My
10 seconds.
my favorite version of Super Cup, I must admit.
Game on.
Brutal is finding two into the snake, not playing the game. Underdog is finding another one. Two players on the outside. Player asking to check. He's clear to play for Underdog. Player finally called out on the snake side. Player called out on the snake side. So where is this going? Brutal Affliction moving a play on the far Doritos. Underdog's cleared in Dorito 1. A lot of paint being thrown down. We know that always happens in the beginning. Player moving to that snake position as well now. Snake 50. It's van de Gracht for Brutal Affliction. Gracht. Not sure if I'm getting that right. It's been some good challenges games. It's been a bit of apples and pears. Some teams doing really well and some teams struggling. So it's all about the balance, I guess. We've had some balanced teams, some coming back as well. We've had an overtime as well. That was very cool to see. Not a single shot's been fired for a past seconds now. I lie, there's one or two. So after that initial chaos and confusion that everyone knows and understands, a bit of a lull in the field. Big lull. No big field changes either. Good communication from Brutal. They're speaking well. Underdog sneaking into the snake cluster. They haven't said a word. It's very sneaky here. There could be a snake 50 pop-off bunkering. Underdog's also got to play in that Dorito 1 on their far side. The thing is, if this Underdog player tries to bunker, that snake 50 is going to get picked up by the brick. And that's exactly the case that happened there. He got picked up by, on the gun, on the hopper. That 3/4 brick on snake side of Brutal Affliction, saving his mate hard. The definition of having your back. The Underdog player knew the Brutal Affliction player was at that snake 50. He was about to pop around and got picked up for his effort. Big lull. No team in Russia whatsoever. We had some high-scoring games, some 6-7 point thrillers. So we might actually see a low-scoring one here today. That would be quite cool. Because it's always a different kind of game then. Dorito 4 has been popped off. I'm not sure who the other underdog player is,
Towel.
but it's not going to
Towel.
matter because the towel
Towel.
gets thrown in by
Point
underdog.
approved.
So the point is proved. One of the longer rounds there. Brutal Affliction, nice and patient. Very mature way of playing ball there, it must be said. The
30
frogs.
seconds.
Frogs clearly love rivers because they've been catching my throat. Double tap this. Legacy is your next playoff. Legacy will be breaking a right to left.
20 seconds.
Double tap left to right.
10 seconds.
Big support for Legacy as well, which is really good to see.
Game on.
I love those jerseys. If I've said it once, I'll say it again. All-star double tap player picked up off the break. Legacy throws one of the brothers into snake one, but outside the cluster, so he's as far out as he can get. Good communication, talking well. Another player called out on double tap side. I believe that's all of them. Remember, I can't see a large portion of the field, so often I just see 3 or 4 kills and miss 2 or 3, respectively. But that means Legacy first point.
Base.
Powerful point in under a minute as well. It's all about the confirmation. So let's see where it goes from there. Screen is down at the moment. We are working on it.
Point approved.
Like for the last time, I can tell you the rain caused some problems. I hope you're still getting sound. Let's do some radio communication right here. Let me explain what I'm seeing. I'm seeing some bright blue skies. A little bit of cloud cover, but enough to actually cool the day down. You know, like where you're not angry at the clouds for existing.
30 seconds.
It's actually nice that they're around. Blue paintball fields at Emerald Resort and Casino. A beautiful river behind me, but we're not going to get too
20
involved in
seconds.
that. Because, hey, I've been tempted to jump in that river about 5-6 times, and the wind keeps keeping me out. Like, literally, I jumped in, and the wind caught me. No, I kid.
10 seconds.
Brutal Affliction 2 versus Underdog. Brutal coming right to left. It's only 1 point, 6.5 minutes. Let's see how this pans out. Or rather, let me explain, because it's radio.
Game on.
So, Underdog's coming aggressive, as is Brutal. They throw 2 in the snakes. No one picked up off the break, though, just yet. A lot of bouncing in that snake cluster. Brutal moves the play into Dorito 1. Underdogs have Dorito 3 and that middle temple bunker. No big field positional change, just a few shots popping off. Haven't seen anyone drop either, so that's really good for the silence. Those back bunkers of Underdogs doing their work. Underdog temple middle bunker, where's it? He's out of there, unfortunately. Dorito 3, big action here. That's really holding the snake side down, but they're throwing forward as well. Rhett goes in to have a look at that snake 50 play, clears him to play. Again, it seems like it's going to be another lull between Underdogs and Brutal Affliction. Happy to take their time. They're happy with their field positioning, it seems, everyone respectively. Player called on Underdog side on that Dorito 4. Another Underdog called out, so really Brutal Affliction with a gun advantage here. But still, again, no rush. Over 5 minutes for less than 2 points. Those back bunkers are still in action for Underdogs. You can hear a lot of paint being called up. Brutal still not moving up. Now they're finally moving up some Doritos. Underdogs have lost another. So I think it's only 1 left, maybe 2. Brutal not playing games. And that underdog taken out. Brutal rushing straight up, not wasting time. Interesting
Towel.
tactic.
Towel.
Towel thrown in.
Towel. Point approved.
Good point, brutal affliction. Patience is key and a virtue that's clearly practiced often in their fields. Double tap of
30 seconds.
Legacy. Challengers Division Mercy 4. Paintball. Super Cup 2018.
20 seconds.
Remember, they have swapped sides, so Legacy will be breaking left to right, double tap right to left.
10
This is
seconds.
your
Game on.
This is your last challengers setup for the day, because we got 3-man and champions for the rest. Snake 1 outside the cluster being used by Legacy. Also that center bunker, it's not the most popular bunker on the field, so it's interesting to see that Legacy has used it once or twice. The Snake 1 being completely held down. Has to be careful with his pods, keep them low. Remember, there is a 3/4 brick player for double tap, trying to shut down the Snake, doing quite a good job of it as well, not allowing Legacy to move up. Double tap play taken out as he tried to move into the Snake side there, wearing quite a few bullets as well. As that happens, the Legacy immediately move further out past the Snake 50. This Dorito 1 on the far side of double tap's definitely going to try to be utilized now to try and get involved. If you can bend a little bit more left, just a little bit more left. Ooh, where it. Legacy player wears it in the Snake 50. He is out of there. They move a play up to the 3/4 bunker. Then the middle bunker wears it and the 3/4 bunker. This has been some good shooting by double tap. But now there's a big Legacy run on the far side. He gets bunkered. They bunker each other. They need to go back and try and protect the point. He's been taken out. I do think that's no one left on Legacy's side. A nice camaraderie high five between the Legacy lighty and double tap player. No more Legacies left. This only means now that double tap can run up and take a point back. Well done, double tap.
Base. Point approved.
Well done, double tap, tying it up 1 apiece with Legacy, one of the few points against them as well. It was an interesting way it had panned out as well. Double tap almost had to go back to defend the buzzer, but the bunkering, the double tap player in the bunker did enough work to make sure that Legacy couldn't
30
run away
seconds.
and just steal that point away from them. But now back to Brutal Affliction 2 versus Underdog. It's a 2-0 scoreline. Under 5 minutes left to be played. How is
20
this going to play
seconds.
out? Now we need to try and find out, is Brutal Affliction going to sit or is Underdog going to run?
10 seconds.
It is Brutal Affliction breaking left to right on the pit side. Underdog obviously vice versa.
Game on.
Underdog gets ripped off the break. One player, second one's still okay though. I haven't seen Brutal lose a play yet either. Now Brutal losing 1, refs checking a second. Seems to be clear. Underdog have lost the second player on the far side as well. Brutal lose a player into that Snake 50. Should be on the screen. Not much field positioning change apart from that. Brutal looking in control. Not sure what the gun count is, which could obviously change things. Good communication coming up from Brutal.
No field movements. Brutal wanting to move players up the field. That Snake 50 being shut down on the Dorito side. He's managed to stay alive. Seems that the underdog pressure is coming all the way from the Dorito side of the field onto the Snake side. Snake's trying to throw some pressure back, keep their heads down. It is a wonderfully warm day, almost lazy. But it's not, because there's so much action happening out on the field, no one would want to miss any of it. It's almost lunchtime as well. The more the merrier. Brutal Affliction loses a back bunker player. They're not sure what the gun count is, but again, this is one of the slower rounds out there. It's 2-0. Underdog's going to have to do something as time whittles away. Seems there's still an underdog player in Dorito side. And I think they also have a snake. I keep hearing a gun to the snake side corner. But no one's prepared to move up from Brutal Affliction. As well, they shouldn't. The obligation is on underdog to move up to try balance a point out here. A few lazy shots being fired off.
$60 seconds.
60 seconds there. So now underdogs, here's that. They move up to that brick 50 on the far Dorito side. Brutal Affliction still mainly on the Snake side. I do think they have I do think they do have a player up high. Now an underdog player moves as well across the field, trying to open up that Snake side. Very lucky. Now there's a Snake side player, underdog as well. He's busy getting checked. He's been cleared. Now there's an altercation. Busy taking out the Brutal Affliction player. Underdogs have taken them out, moving up. They're going to hit that buzzer.
Base.
After there's enough alive and after approval, they should be A-OK. It's a 2-1 scoreline. They've left it quite late, though, underdog. It's a good point for them to get. But now 30 seconds on the clock. Have they done enough to come back and tie it up for overtime or not?